Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome back once again on the YouTube channel of Career Launcher. I'm Gaurav Gupta and I am one of the mentors with Career Launcher and I'm the mentor of Quant and LRDI. Now by now all of you must have known that I teach Quant and LRDI by looking at some of the sessions that I have conducted for all of you on YouTube channel on different topics of quant and LRDI. So friends, a warm welcome to all of you in my next session that is based on data interpretation. So by now you all must have also known one thing that I've started different series of sessions like in which we are discussing, like in some series of sessions we are discussing the previous year paper questions of CAT examination. In some series I'm helping you in revising or in understanding the basics, the foundation, the fundamentals of different areas. Likewise, in this series of sessions, that is the basics of data interpretation, we have started with the basic set of data interpretation, the understanding of different types of data like a bar graph, a table, a pie chart, a line graph, right? And then in each of these sessions, we are solving some of the basic set of data interpretation, right? Now, the level of difficulty of these sets, once again, I'll remind you that this is not as high as what we'll see in CAT examination, but the sets that we are covering in these sessions will be enough to handle the questions of data interpretation in SNAP, NMAT, and MHCT. Now, these are three big examinations. So yes, if you are not a brilliant student when it comes to data interpretation, then these sessions will be very helpful to all of you. All right. So if you think that you are average or below average in the calculations or in handling the set of data interpretation, then you must attend all these sessions in a particular order, the order in which these sessions are conducted. In case you have missed any of the previous sessions, the recordings will be available on the YouTube channel. Okay, so you can have a look at all these recordings and these sessions. Like if you'll attend each and every session that I'll be conducting in the next one and a half months, okay, then all your basics of data interpretation will be handled. Okay, so you will be able to solve every question of data interpretation in SNAP, NARSI Munji, and MHCT. All right. Now, friends, in today's session, I'll be discussing two different sets. Like I promised to all of you that we will be increasing the level of difficulty gradually. So yes, in this session, the level of difficulty, yes, has been raised a little bit as compared to the previous session. So in every session, like I promised that you will learn something, you will take something out of every session. So I will keep up my promise and will not, I would say, I'll not disappoint any of the students who are attending these sessions. All right. So let's begin this session. So like I said, there will be two different sets. So the data pertaining to the first set is on your screen. Okay. I'll be giving you 2 minutes, approximately 2 minutes to understand this data. If you want to do any calculations, you may do that in these 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And then I take you to the questions one by one, right? We will be looking at every question one by one and I'll be giving you the best possible way of solving that question. All right. Now the data related to the first set, it says the table given below shows the ratio of number of cars to bike sold and the ratio of vehicles sold by brand X to brand Y and the total number of vehicles sold by 5 different showrooms. Note that no other vehicle except bike and car were sold by the 5 showrooms. All right, fine. So whatever information is given in that, this is an exclusive information. There is nothing after this, right? So if I look at showroom A has sold a total number of 600 vehicles. These 600 vehicles are divided in two different categories. One category is by car and by bike, and the other is sold by showroom X and showroom Y. Okay, so brand X and brand Y, right? So showroom A has sold a total of 600 vehicles. These 600 vehicles can be cars or bikes which are in the ratio 1:2. Also, these 600 vehicles can be categorized in two brands, brand X and brand Y, the ratio of which is 1:3, right? Likewise, it is given for all the five brands. So I'll give you 2 minutes to basically find out what will be the number of cars and bikes sold respectively by each and every showroom, as well as the vehicles sold by brand X and brand Y for each and every showroom out of the total number of vehicles which are sold for every showroom that is mentioned in the table. Okay, so take 2 minutes and quickly segregate this data so that we can have a look at each and every question that will follow. So 2 minutes. Now, what you need to do is, you just need to like divide a given number in a ratio, right? Now, this is covered in the basics of ratios. Okay, so this is one very easy thing. You just have to repeat it for these five showrooms for cars and bikes, and then for X and Y. Now, how to divide a given number in a ratio? So let's say I want to divide 600 in the ratio 1:2. Okay. Now, friends, one way is you can assume these numbers like in the ratio 1:2, the numbers are x and 2x. Okay, the ratio is 1:2, so I can assume the numbers as x and 2x. Look at the top of the screen. So I can say that x plus 2x is equal to 600. 3x is equal to 600, so the value of x comes out to be 200. Okay, now if the value of x is 200, then the number of cars will be 200 and the number of bikes, which is 2x, will be 400. Okay, this is one way in which you can divide the ratio. Otherwise, there is no need to write every time the values in the form of x. Okay, look at the next ratio, 1:3. I have to divide the same number 600 in the ratio 1:3. अब क्या करो आप 1:3, just add these two numbers 1 plus 3. Now 1 plus 3 is 4. So divide 600 by 4. So 600 divided by 4 is 150, right? Multiply 150 by 1 and by 3. So 150 into 1 will be for brand X and 150 into 3 will be for brand Y. Okay, so this is how you can easily or quickly divide a given ratio, a given number in a given ratio. All right, so not every time you will be writing x x x, right? So these are five showrooms and there are two ratios for every showroom, so you will have to make those equations 10 times. We never have this much of time in the examination. Okay, so 600 when divided in the ratio 1:2, so 1 plus 2 is 3. So 600 divided by 3 is 200. So 200 multiply 1 and 200 multiply 2. So number of cars is 200 and number of bikes is 400. I'm writing these values in the table. Okay. Now for showroom A, I have made the division cars and bikes and then brand X and brand Y. So there may be some cars of brand X and some cars of brand Y. Similarly, there may be some bikes of brand X and brand Y. All right. I don't know exactly how many cars belongs to brand X or how many cars belongs to brand Y. Similarly for bike. Okay. So this is confusion. But out of total 600 vehicles which are sold, 200 are bikes, sorry, 200 are cars and 400 are bikes. Similarly, 150 are for brand X and 450 are from brand Y. Okay, now let's divide all these numbers in the given ratios. So 400. So 400 and I have to divide it in the ratio 4 is to 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So 400 upon 5 is 80. 80 multiplied by 4 is 320 and 80 multiplied 1 is 80, right? Similarly, 2 plus 3 is once again 5. So 400 divided by 5 is 80. 80 multiplied by 2, 160. 80 multiplied by 3 is 240. Next, 500 I have to divide it in the ratio 2 is to 3. Very simple, 200 and 300. Then 500 to be divided in the ratio 13 is to 7. थोड़ा सा difficult है. 13 plus 7 is 20. 500 divided by 20 is 25. Okay. Now all of you, if you cannot understand these calculations so quickly, you can write them on a piece of paper for the time being at the beginning. Okay? And then slowly and gradually with practice, all these things will improve. But listen carefully, how am I doing these calculations, right? So 500 divided by 13 plus 7. 13 plus 7 कितना होता है? 20. So 500 divided by 20 is 25. So brand X will be 25 multiplied by 13 and brand Y will be 25 multiplied by 7. Okay, so this is 325 and 175 respectively. Done. Then I'll divide 100 similarly in the given ratios. So 30 and 70, 90 and 10. Done. And finally 300 in the ratio 5 is to 7. Now 5 plus 7 is 12. So 300 divided by 12. Okay. So 300 divided by 12 is 25. So 125 and 175 will be these values. And here again 300 when divided by 20 will be 15. So the values will be 165 and 135 respectively. Okay. Now I have completed the table and we are good to go to solve the questions. ठीक है? Questions solve करते हैं. So you can refer to this table. You can like copy this table on your notebooks, or you can take a snapshot of this table and you can refer to this table to solve every question. So first question on your screen. Now if you have all the values in the table, it will be very easy to answer any question from this set. So first question, what is the total number of cars sold by the 5 showrooms? I want the number of cars, right? So if you want the number of cars, I'll give you 1 minute. No, not 1 minute, 30 seconds. 30 seconds to give an answer. Come on, give me an answer. So 30 seconds. What is the total number of cars sold by the 5 showrooms? So we have already segregated cars and bikes. So you just have to count the number of cars. Okay. So let me write the number of cars, all of them. So cars are 200, 320, 200, 30 and 125. So 200, 320, 200, 30 and last is 125. Okay. So 200, 400, 700, 800, 850, 875. So 875, that is option D is the correct answer of this question. All right. You just need to simply add the number of cars. Okay. Number of cars are already calculated in the table. Just add them and mark the answer. ठीक है. So जो भी hard work था, मेहनत थी, वो हम कर चुके हैं already, and we just need to now add or subtract or multiply, divide, percentage these numbers, right? So the correct answer for this question is option D, that is 875. Okay. Question number 2 on your screen now. I'll give you a few seconds to get the answer of this question. So let's see how many of you can give me a correct answer. What is the number of vehicles sold by brand Y? The way you have counted the number of cars, in the same manner you will have to count the number of vehicles sold by brand Y. ठीक है, टेबल में सब कुछ मेंशन्ड है. We have done the segregation. You just need to add these numbers. That's it. So अभी तक easy questions है because hard work, like I said, already done. So brand Y, I am adding these numbers. So brand Y 450, 240. I'm sorry, 450, 240, 175, 10 and 135. 175, 10 and 135. These are the numbers, respective numbers brand showroom wise. Okay, so adding 400 and 200, 600, 700, 800. Okay, 870 and 35, 910, 920, 960, 1010. So 1010. Like you all will have different ways of adding. मैं पहले hundreds add करता हूँ, then tens and so on. Okay, so 1010 will be the correct answer of this question. That is option B. Okay, I'm sure that most of you must have given the correct answer, right? Okay. Now, even if you have not posted your answer in the chat box, you can check your answer. The correct answer is option B for question number 2. Okay, right? So that was question number 2. Next question, question number 3. Now this question is slightly tough, okay, based on percentage. Slightly tough as compared to the previous two questions. Previous two questions were very easy. Okay, so this one is of average level of difficulty. Okay, so solve this one and post your answer in the chat box. Come on, do it quickly. So question is, the number of vehicles of brand X sold by showroom C is what percentage of total number of vehicles sold by showroom A? So up till now, all the questions are easy. So pick up both the values from the table and find out the percentage. The number of vehicles sold by, sorry, the vehicles of brand X sold by C. So brand X sold by C कितना होगा? Brand X sold by C from the table is 325. 325 is what percentage of total number of vehicles sold by A? Total number of vehicles sold by A is 600. So 625 upon 600 multiplied by 100. So it will be 325 upon 6. Okay. Options, all of them are given in mixed fractions. So I'll do that. 625 divided by 6, it will be 5, 4, 54, 1 by 6. So 54, 1 by 6, that is option C is the correct answer of question number 3. Okay, so once again, it was a very simple question. The correct answer is option C, right? Okay. Next question, question number 4. Now this one is a slightly difficult one. Okay, actually this is a logical one. Okay, so read the question and then understand what you will have to do and then find out the answer step by step. So question involving the concept of maxima and minima. Okay, so you will have to minimize one thing. So to minimize one thing, probably you will have to maximize the other things. Then only you will be able to minimize it. It may be possible. Okay. So question is, if the number of bikes of brand X sold by all the showrooms is minimum possible. So number of bikes which are sold by X are minimum. Okay, then what is the number of bikes of brand Y sold by all the showrooms? Bikes of brand X is minimum. So you will have to find out what is the number of bikes sold by number of bikes of brand Y sold by all the showrooms. I'll give you 2 minutes to find out the answer of this one. 2 minutes. Let's see how many of you will give a correct answer for this one. This is a challenging question, slightly challenging question. Yes, any answer? Okay, let's understand what we need to do. Okay, now question is, if the number of bikes of brand X sold is minimum possible. So look at this in the table, number of bikes. So I'm looking at showroom A. Let's take this example. Now showroom A has sold 400 bikes, right? And simultaneously showroom A has sold 150 vehicles of brand X. So out of these 400, I have to minimize, I have to make sure that minimum number of bikes of brand X will be sold. Okay. So if I want to minimize this particular number, can I say that if I'll maximize the number of bikes which are sold by brand Y, if I'll maximize the number of bikes which are sold by brand Y, then automatically the number of bikes which are sold by brand X will become minimum. I'll write it. So bikes of brand X I have to minimize. Okay, number of bikes is fixed, number of bikes is 400. So मुझे क्या करना है, bikes of brand X इसको minimize करना है. So if I'll maximize the bikes of brand Y, if I'll maximize this, then automatically the other thing will be minimized because number of bikes is fixed, right? ठीक है? So I will maximize the number of bikes which are sold of brand X, sorry, brand Y. ठीक है? Bikes of brand Y I will maximize and the other thing will become minimum. Okay. Now if I'll maximize this, let's see what do we have to calculate. We have to calculate the number of bikes of brand Y. मुझे number of bikes of brand Y ही calculate करना है. ठीक है? So if I'll keep on maximize this particular thing, I will get my answer. All right. Okay. So now let me copy all these numbers. So ये जो values हैं मैं जल्दी जल्दी यहाँ पे mention कर देता हूँ. I have already mentioned some values. So 200, 400, 150 and 450. ठीक है? Then 320 and 80, 160, 240. Meanwhile you all can calculate the answer. मैंने आपको hint दे दिया है. ठीक है? You can calculate your answer. I'm feeding these numbers. Okay, so I've written all these numbers. Now what do I have to do is I have to just maximize the number of bikes of brand Y. Now, first of all, bikes is 400 and brand Y can accommodate 450 vehicles. So can I say that all these 400 bikes can be of brand Y, right? All these 400 bikes can be of brand Y. Yes, possible है. तो मैंने क्या किया, maximize कर दिया bikes of brand Y. So for showroom A, this number will be 400. ठीक है? I'm writing it on the right hand side of the table. Now next, for showroom B, the total bikes is 80 and brand Y, the total vehicles is 240. So all these bikes can be of brand Y. Yes, 240 can accommodate 80, the entire value. So for showroom B, this number will be 80, number of bikes of brand Y. Now next is 300 and 175. Can all these 300 bikes be of brand Y? No, not at all, because brand Y has only 175 vehicles. So a maximum of 175 bikes can be of brand Y. Okay, समझ में आ गया? Brand Y टोटल 175 है, तो 175 से ज्यादा तो brand Y में हो ही नहीं सकता. So out of 300 bikes, 175 bikes will be of brand Y. ठीक है? Now correspondingly brand X की भी bikes लिखते हैं. So these are bikes of brand Y, right? Correspondingly, let's write bikes of brand X. Okay, so bikes of brand X भी लिखते हैं. This should be visible to all of you. Wait. Okay, so इसी के साथ यहाँ पे मैं brand X का भी लिख दूंगा. Okay, so first case में all bikes were of brand Y, तो no bike will be of brand X. Second case में भी all 80 bikes will be of brand Y, so no bike will be of brand X. But third case में out of 300 bikes, 175 can be of brand Y, so the remaining 125 will be of brand X. Likewise, next showroom B, out of 70 bikes, only 10 bikes can be of brand Y. Okay, so the remaining 60 will be of brand X. And similarly, out of 175 bikes of showroom E, only 135 can be of brand Y. So यहाँ पे 135 आ जाएगा and remaining 40 bikes will be of brand X. अब आपसे total bikes of brand Y पूछा हुआ है, वो calculate कर सकते हो. If they have asked you the total bikes of brand X, you can calculate this, you have the numbers. Okay, so what they are asking the total bikes of brand Y. So I will add these numbers and post the answer. So let's add these numbers: 400, 500, 600, 720, 800. So 800 is this number and the correct answer is option E. All right, simple. So this one was pretty logical question. Okay, if they would have asked you what is the number of bikes of brand X, so answer add कर देते यहाँ पे 225 will be the answer. Done. Let's look at the next question, question number 5 of this set, the last question, and then we'll move on to the second set. So question is, if the number of bikes of brand X sold by all the showrooms is minimum possible. The first line is the same as the previous question. Okay. Then what is the number of cars of brand X sold by all the showrooms? अब यहाँ पे cars calculate करनी है. ठीक है? So repeat this question on the similar pattern. I will wait for you and let's see if anyone can give me a correct answer. Meanwhile, I'll quickly write the numbers once again. So I'm giving you time, a minute. In that minute, I'll write these numbers. Okay, any answer? Any answer up till now? Now you will have to use the same approach, but this time you will have to calculate something else. Okay, what do you have to minimize? Number of bikes of brand X. Okay, so number of bikes of brand X minimize करनी है, and आपको calculate क्या करना है? Number of cars of brand X. So if you will maximize number of cars of brand X, right? So bikes of brand X you will have to minimize, right? So if you will maximize cars of brand X, then it will solve your purpose. ठीक है ना? So just do that and find out the answer. बहुत सिंपल हो जाएगा ये. Okay, so let's do that. Cars of brand X. So first of all, 200 cars, and brand X can accommodate 150. Maximize करना है. So out of 200, I will pick 150 cars and all of them will become of brand X. ठीक है? Similarly, next showroom B, 320 cars, but brand X can accommodate only 160. So maximum number of cars of brand X can be 160. Showroom C, there are 200 cars, but brand X can accommodate 325. So all these cars will become of brand X. So 200 will be the number. Similarly, 30 is here and 90 is here. So I'll keep all 30. And 125 is here. 125 cars are there, but brand X can accommodate 165. So all 125 cars are of brand X. Right? So number of cars of brand X maximize kar diya, and that will be the number. Just add these numbers and get your answer. So some of these will be 400, 500, 610, 640, 665. So 665 is the sum of all these numbers. All right, fine. So last two questions were based on the concept of maxima minima. This was set number 1. I hope you have liked this set. Okay, I hope you are learning something new in every set that we are solving, and you will have the same learning, similar kind of learning from the next set that I'm going to discuss now. So let's move on quickly to set number 2. I'll give you 2 minutes to read, understand every piece of information that is written on the screen. Two minutes, and then I'll read it with you, and we'll explain you what data is given, and then we'll look at every question one by one. Okay, let's read this data. Okay. So data is saying that for admissions to various affiliated colleges, a university conducts a written test with 4 different sections. So it's just like CAT examination. CAT has 3 different sections. This exam has 4 different sections, each with a maximum marks of 50. So there are 4 sections, as you can see in the table: section A, B, C, and D. Okay, and every section has a maximum marks of 50. Done. Now this table gives the aggregate as well as the sectional cutoff marks fixed by 6 different colleges affiliated to this university. So let's think about 6 top IIMs. Okay, now each of these IIMs they have sectional cutoff as well as the overall cutoff, right? Okay. Now some data is missing from this table, so a student will get admission only if he or she gets marks which are greater than or equal to the cutoff marks in each of the sections, and his or her aggregate marks are at least equal to the aggregate cutoff marks as specified by the college. So it's simple. If I want to get admission in a college, I have to clear all the sectional cutoffs as well as the overall cutoff of that college, right? Now, overall cutoffs, aggregate cutoffs are mentioned for all the colleges in this table, but some data about the sectional cutoffs of some of the colleges are removed intentionally. Okay, right? So let's look at the data of one of the colleges. So college 1 has a sectional cutoff of 42 marks in section A, 42 in section B, 42 in section C, section D is missing, and the overall cutoff is 176, right? Now, first incorrect thing to do will be, some students might do that, it will be incorrect. It is nowhere given, but some of the students will assume it incorrectly, that the sum of these sectional cutoffs will be equal to the value of the overall cutoff. No, this is not true. This is nowhere given. अगर given होता तो हम consider कर लेते, but since it is not given, we cannot consider this. Okay, right? So as an example, I may say that the sectional cutoff of section D can be 40. Okay, so that means a student will have to score a minimum of 42 in section a minimum of 42 in section B, a minimum of 42 in section C, and a minimum of 40 in section D, right? If I'll add them, it becomes 166. But 166 is not the overall cutoff. So after clearing the sectional cutoffs, minimum cutoffs in every section, the person also has to clear the overall cutoff. Now the similar thing happens with IIMs. If you have heard of this, like there are 3 sections, section 1, 2, 3, verbal RC, LRDI and quant. So let's say IIM Ahmedabad says you need to get 90 percentile in every section, 90 percentile minimum, okay, and an overall of 99.5 percentile. I'm just taking an example, okay, right? Overall of 99.5 percentile, right? Okay, so it must be clear in your mind that the sum of sectional cutoffs may or may not be equal to the overall cutoff. Since it is not given, you cannot assume that thing. Okay, so this is one incorrect thing if you have done that. Done? I hope I'm clear with this. Okay, all right. Now let's get into solving each of these questions one by one. There are 3 questions based on set number 2. I hope you all must have understood the data. Let's look at question number 1. Now question number 1 says that Aditya did not get a call from even a single college. So these are 6 colleges which are mentioned at the bottom of the screen, and a student Aditya did not get call from any of these colleges. Okay, that's very sad, but nothing can be done. So now the question is, what could be the maximum aggregate marks obtained by him? उसको किसी भी कॉलेज से कॉल नहीं आया, स्टिल उसका मैक्सिमम एग्रीगेट स्कोर क्या हो सकता है, ये फाइंड आउट करना है, राइट? I'll give you a minute. Let's see how many of you can give me the correct answer for this. I can give you one more illustration. Let's say college 1 again. These are the cutoffs: 40, 40, 40, 42. Okay. Now let's say a person gets 50 marks in section A. Okay. 50 marks, 50 out of 50 in section A, 50 out of 50 in section B, 50 out of 50 in section C, but 39 in section D. So this person will not get a call from college 1. He has cleared 3 sectional cutoffs, but since he has not cleared the sectional cutoff of section D, so this person will not get a call from college 1. Okay, so to get a call, I have to clear all the cutoffs, all 5 of them, 4 sections and 1 aggregate. But if I do not get a call. If I don't want to get a call, I can miss the sectional cutoff of any one of these 4 sections. ठीक है? So किसी भी एक section की sectional cutoff clear नहीं हुई, then I will not get a call from that college. Okay? Now taking into account this particular fact, you will have to maximize the aggregate marks. Okay? Now aggregate marks maximize करने हैं. So if I'll get 50, 50, 50, 50 in all the 4 sections, then I'll get all the calls, right? But I don't want that. I want not to get a call from even a single college. That means I'll have to miss each and every college, right? Now I cannot get 50 in all the 4 subjects. You understand this thing? Okay? Now can I get 50 in 3 of the subjects? Let's say first 3 subjects I'll get 50 and here I'll not get 50. So if I'll get 50 in first 3 subjects, right? So I may be getting a call from college 1, college 2, college 3, college 4 का पता नहीं है because college 4 में 45 marks I need in section D. कॉलेज 5 से आ सकता है, कॉलेज 6 का पता नहीं है. ठीक है? So I am not able to cover all the colleges if I will miss or if I'll get 50 in 3 of the sections. Okay, I have to make sure that I'm not getting call from even a single college. Okay, now look at section C and section D. Now section C covers college 1, college 2, college 3 and college 5. And section D covers college 4 and college 6. So can I say that these 2 sections covers all the 6 colleges? So if I'll miss the sectional cutoff in section C की sectional cutoff miss कर देता हूँ for all these 4 colleges. That means if I'll get 41 marks in section C में 41 marks, I'll not get a call from college 1, college 2, college 3 and college 5, right? So scoring 41 marks in section C will ensure that I'll not get call from 1, 2, 3 and 5, right? And in section D, if I'll score 43, so 43 I will miss the cutoff of college 4 and college 5. So college 4 and college 5 be remove ho gaye. So getting 41 in C and 43 in D will ensure that I'm not getting call from any of the colleges. Now you can score 50 and 50 in the first 2 sections to maximize the aggregate score, and the sum of these 4 scores, that is 100, 140, 180, 184 will be the maximum aggregate marks. 184 score करने के बाद भी I'm not getting call from any of these colleges. So the correct answer of this question will be 184. All right, a very logical way of handling the questions. I hope I'm clear, right? So let's move on and look at the next question, question number 2. Bhama got calls from all the colleges. उसको सारे colleges call आ गया. What could be the minimum aggregate marks obtained by her? अब सारे colleges से call आना चाहिए. So that means you need to take care about the sectional cutoff of all the colleges, right? Do that and get the overall score of this person. We have to minimize the aggregate score. So calls लाने के लिए तो मैं सब में 50, 50, 50, 50 score कर सकता हूँ. But I have to find out the minimum score in every section that will clear the sectional cutoff of all these sections for all the colleges. Okay, so take 30 seconds. I hope 30 seconds should be enough. to get a call from every college? All right, let's see. Section A. Can I say that if I'll score 42, I will miss college 4 and college 5? If I'll score 43, I'll get college 4 and college 1, but college 5 will be missed. So I have to get a minimum of 45 marks in section A so that I can clear the given cutoffs for all the colleges. Okay. Section B. Similarly, I should score a minimum of 45, college 1, college 2 and college 6. Section C, I have to score 46. Similarly, in section D, I'll have to score 45. Okay, then only I'll be able to get calls from all the colleges. Now let's add these scores. So 90, 170, 180, 181. So 181 is the total score, and that should be the correct answer of this question. All right, okay, so that was question number 2. Let's look at one more question and we will call it a day. Okay, we'll stop after this one. So Charlie got calls from 2 colleges. दो ही colleges से call आया है. What could be the minimum marks obtained by him in a section? किसी भी एक section में minimum marks. So Charlie got calls from 2 colleges. What could be the minimum marks obtained by him in a particular section? Now this one is easy. If you look at the entire data that is given. Okay, check करें. Now got calls from 2 colleges. Look at the aggregate cutoffs. Aggregate cutoff minimum कौन सा है? 171, and then the second value is 175, right? So if Charlie gets a total of 175, then he will be able to manage the aggregate cutoffs of these 2 colleges and not any other college, right? So scoring 175 will ensure that he is not getting call from 1, 4, 5 and 6. He is getting calls from only 2 and 3. But 2 and 3 को से call आने के लिए he'll have to clear the sectional cutoffs as well. Okay. Now 175 score is fine. We'll have to minimize his marks in one of the sections. Sum of all the 4 sections is 175. To minimize the marks in one of the sections, can I say that I should be maximizing the marks in the remaining 3 sections? So if in the first section, second section and third section he will score full marks, and in the fourth section he will score the remaining marks, that is 25. So he will be able to manage these cutoffs and hence the overall cutoff, and he will be getting the calls from college 2 and college 3, where his minimum marks in a section will be 25. Okay, so minimum marks in a section is 25, and that is the correct answer of this question. All right, so friends, that is all from my side. In case you have any question, any query related to your examination, related to the preparation of the examination, you have a confusion related to any of the sections, you can post these queries in the chat box and we'll be happy to answer these queries, right? So friends, I take your leave with the promise that I'll be coming back again in the next session with many such questions like this. Till then, have a wonderful time. Thank you. Do subscribe our YouTube channel. Press the like button. Post any comment if you have any query, and share this session with your friends and family. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.